Hello, everyone. Chris is Santiago of MMA On. Today, I'm here with the former Bellator bantamweight champion of the world, the conquistador of combat. We have on Mr. Juan Archuleta. Juan, how's it going today?
Good, man. Just getting some loose ends tied up before I head out to Japan with visa stuff and fight gear and all that other fun stuff you do at the last minute.
Awesome, man. I saw that you got to explore some of Tokyo last time out. You got to hold some samurai swords. You got to be a badass over there. What could you take away from that experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was very humbling, to go there and feel the vibrations of the earth from that side of the country and to be able to learn and get educated about the Bushido code and the samurai spirit. I mean, it was definitely one of a kind, and it was something that I'll always remember. And it fueled me going into training camp to know what I'm looking what I want to do and what I'm looking forward to doing.
Mhm. And you fought all over the world. You've been to Hawaii, you've been to the beaches over there, man. I mean, you fought all over the country. When Bellator approached you with Japan of all places, how did you feel about that?
Oh, for me, it was a no-brainer. I was super honored and excited. I've always wanted to go out to Japan and fight since basically I started watching MMA, watching Dan Henderson and Ring of Fire, and then through Pride and all the Shogun Huas and Anderson Silva fights and the Crow Cops. I've always been so fascinated by the Japanese culture to go out there and just put on a show because they truly appreciate you coming out there and putting on a show. And I'm very excited. My walkout alone is just going to be a showstopper on itself, and then to go out there and have a dance partner, so to speak, with Susho Kim. I mean, it's for sure fireworks. It's like my last fight. It's going to be full of action and nonstop martial arts going on.
For sure, for sure. And speaking of the walkout, man, what's gonna be your song? What's the energy gonna be like over there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give away. I'm just going to let you know it's going to be one of a kind, and it's going to be the first time this has ever been done. And I'm super excited to do it. People have to tune in to see it. Because for one, it's going to be. I will tell you, it's going to be something with the Mesoamerica type of feeling where I get to represent the other side of my culture, of my family, and my race, which is the Mexican culture. And so I get to pay homage to that, where there are they're promoting the fight more of the samurai and Roman gladiator soldiers. Well, there's more warriors throughout the world that made huge impacts, and I'm going to show that come fight night.
And like yourself, man, I mean, a lot of my family is from Mexico, and some of my family came from Spain as well in the 1850s. But speaking of that culture, man, I mean, the conquistadors they went from Spain to to Latin America and they conquered it. Do you kind of have that mentality where you're gonna go over there to Japan and conquer, Ryzen's fighters?
Yeah, definitely. We're there to go 5-0 as a group of Bellator fighters. We're not there to lose. We're there to make our promoter happy because he had the balls for us to live our dream and do what every MMA fighter wanted to do to this day is go promotion against promotion. And we're actually living that dream and being able to go into a place where MMA originally started from in Japan. You got jiu-jitsu, you have, the just every martial arts you could think of came from Japan. Not everyone, but for the most part, the majority of martial arts that come from Japan, that's where it originates from. Starting with the Bruce Lees and the monks and just everything that goes along that history. And to be there and add my name to that history, and to be the first ever to go out and go promotion against promotion, a 5 versus 5, and put my name on that list. I mean, it's super humbling. I'm honored, and I'm gonna respect that.
Mhm. And you're taking on Soo Chul Kim. What can you tell me as about him as an opponent, and how do you see yourself getting your hand raised come New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's been a champion in pretty much every organization he's fought in, and similar to myself, he's a very outpaced guy, and he likes to push people to the limits, as do I. And so this is probably one of the most fan favorite matchups that they could make because we're both well rounded everywhere. So on some of the other fights, you see guys that are just good on the ground, just good at stand up, knockout artists and things like that. Where I feel my matchup we're both really talented everywhere. So the fans are going to be in for a treat when they see both of us fight, and it's going to be on the ground, on their feet, and everything in between, you know. So it's I got to be ahead, you know, and I definitely got to put my offense out there before he does.
For sure, man. And outside of that fight, I just want to talk to you about last weekend's fights against Stotts versus Sabatello. Did you happen to watch that fight, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, you know, I watched the whole card and was very, obviously it's the weight class that I'm fighting for, so it's like picking and choosing, trying not to be too biased on one fight and things like that. But I think something that flew really under the radar was Patchy Mix. You know, I don't think he's getting the credit he deserves on going into this Grand Prix. Like, this guy's a savage, you know, and I know me beating him kind of caused that setback on him not getting as much recognition as he should. But mine and his fight was one of the best bantamweight title fights you could watch, because it was so back and forth. It was me coming back from behind and beating them, that it got overran by two loudmouths that didn't really perform the way they said they were going to perform. Patchy Mix said he was going to go out there and finish this guy, and that's what he did. I mean, how can you not respect that and cover him more? You know, it's just like, this guy's a savage and he's a killer, and he's going in for the kill every time. So I felt like that was more exciting than the actual main event itself. But he gets to go on that platform now and go and take on Stotts, which is going to be a great fight. But I see Patchy getting it done within two, you know?
For sure, for sure. Then, with Stotts and Sabatello, like obviously not as exciting as Patchy Mix getting the finish, but after 5 rounds, do you think Stotts did enough to beat Sabatello? I know a lot of people thought that Sabatello might have won if the control time and whatnot. Who did you have winning the fight? Do you think the judges got it right?
Yeah, I think I mean, it was very hard. I could see why Doug Crosby gave five rounds to Sabatello. I could see why the other judges gave it such a close fight. At the end of the day, man, when you take someone down, you got to at least throw 5 punches every 20 seconds or something. You know, you got to show something that you're trying to cause damage. Even if he does get away, you're still trying to cause damage. So I think if he just showed a little more ground and pound, he would have just took the slight edges away from Stotts. But Sabatello didn't do that. So you can't complain about losing, and you can't complain about taking the win, you know, because both of them didn't do enough offense to give the judges more to judge on, you know. So that's another thing. Like, judging is very hard. Like, some people say, like, oh, I would have judged it like this. It's like, bro, you're put in a situation where you have to decide now. Like, and no matter what your decision is going to be, it's going to upset half the people. Half the people are going to like it, half the people aren't going to like it, you know. So judging is a very hard job to do, and I feel bad for the judges that people are like, oh, that's crazy, that's absurd. It's like, this is this guy's opinion. How are you going to go against it? Like, just like your opinion, it might not be the popular choice, but at the same time, it's your opinion. That's what judging is. It's their opinion of the fight.
For sure, for sure. Then I was looking through your Instagram, man, and I saw that you were posing with some green Asami Rising gloves. Are those the gloves that you're going to be wearing come New Year's Eve over there in Japan?
Yeah, I had to get a pair of gloves just to get comfortable with them and know, because they are very different than the Bellator gloves. So I had to get accustomed to them and train with them and get ready for what they give me when I go out there. You know, you can't be unfamiliar with your tools when you go to a job, so you have to get as comfortable as possible with them.
hmm And I know that you have your eyes on Chul Kama, but next year, come your Bellator return, do you have anybody that's on your mind? I know you're focused on this fight, but there's a lot of new names in this
Yeah.
bantamweight division. It's stacked from top to bottom. Do you have anybody in particular that you would like to run it with?
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, anyone that's gonna put me closer to the title fight. Obviously, the title fight's not looking promising till the end of the year. So just want to stay active. I mean, I'll e- e- like I granted everything goes well with this fight, like you said, I'm not looking past this fight, but shit, I like to be on the Fedor card here in LA, and put one three back-to-back fights together, no matter who it may be against. But for me, man, like, just put an opponent in front of me. I've always said this from the beginning, and I signed the dotted line, and I've proven it time and time again, so I don't care who they put in front of me, just put someone in front of me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Spaniard going to Japan, maybe California after that, man. I respect that a lot. And thank you so much for the time. That's all the questions I had for you. Did you
I
want to say
appreciate
anything
it.
to the fans out there watching?
Hey man, tune in because this is history in the making. This is promotion versus promotion. Bellator versus Risen. Five of our best versus five of their best. I mean, if you're a true martial artist and you really love martial arts, this is New Year's this is going to be the fight to watch, and I'm sure a lot of fans are going to be able to tune in and catch a glimpse of some of the world's best talent out there. So thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your fans tuning in. I appreciate it.